Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Let's Remember Skies of Arcadia. We have the Delphinus. It's an amazing ship. Look at all these buttons. Look at the chair up there that we can go in. Oh my god, it's amazing. So we get to explore, and so that's basically what this segment will be. It will be a small exploration segment of the Delphinus before we move forward. Let's talk to Gilder. I keep hearing a strange noise up here. I've looked around, but maybe you can find it. You bet your ass I can. Moonberry. But there's a strange noise. Could it be because we have a stowaway? I think we do. Don't question it. It's Marco. I heard that the prince's ship was finished and being prepared for departure, so I snuck on board and was planning to escape. Marco's awesome. He's going to travel along with us. He's going to be the first member of our crew. Marco has joined our crew as a sailor. So we will do a segment where we will gather crew members. Some of them we will gather as we go around. But we will explore the Delphinus, and we will hopefully get to another important part of the game. So this is exploration of the ship, and then also building up to another point I want to get to. I think this leads to the deck? There is a cham on the Delphinus. I want it. But also, this is just like, we get to explore everything, which is so great. And this music is going to be our general exploration music for most of the game now. And we can talk down through these things. Talking tube. Hey, Vise, this is Gilder from the bridge. Where you at? So cool. And it's like, just so many spaces on the ship for us to explore. Let's talk to Enrique. It's a great group of characters that we are with. It's a cool ship. There's just so much stuff happening. And like really, it has been at least like all right, so let's do the math in my head and inadvertently reveal things. So I'm only so many years out of college. Didn't play the game throughout all my time in college. Probably played it last when I was I'm gonna guess like a sophomore in high school. And I probably played Skies of Arcadia Legends. There is a cham somewhere here. Fina. Awesome. So we are going to hit the button and hopefully find the fucking cham. There it is. Haha! Marco cleaning the deck. Good job, buddy. I like Marco's enthusiasm. We're just having anybody give the cham to Cupel. Has Cupel upgraded? Let's find out. Still Cupel Spike. We'll get there. I have a shit ton of money. And discoveries only make you have even more. I have 70,000, and really when you buy equipment, it doesn't give you that much. And here's the cool... oh man, there's so much cool stuff to talk about. We're going to be able to customize the Delphinus. We're going to be able to choose the flag. I know the flag I'm going to choose this time around. Can I move? Is the game going to let me move? I'm not moving. So this is annoying. I'm stuck. So we are going to do a magical whoosh whoosh wipe so that I'm not stuck, but in order to get unstuck, I'm going to need to do some stuff. So I will be back in a little bit. So whoosh 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 whoosh. I fixed it. Don't ask how, but I did it. That was terrifying. But let's explore the rest of the Delphinus. Oh my gosh. We're going to sort of be able to customize the Delphinus and do all sorts of stuff. So this is like a mess hall type deal and a stand for a statue. And so we're going to have all sorts of crew members we can get. We can get cooks and lookouts and gunners and entertainers and sailors and helmsmen. It's fantastic stuff. I just really, really great. And so let us sort of, I mean, that's about the gist of the Delphinus for now. So let's move on and sort of establish our own stuff. That was a bad sentence, I don't know. I'm just, oh man, it's so exciting, it's so great. Let's talk to Gilder. Are you finished looking around the ship? Yeah, I've pretty much seen everything I want to. So this is Gilder, showing a little bit more of his depth. You know, I'm leaving, gonna head up and meet with the Claudia.
Hey.
I have 3 pieces of advice for you. Like, he sits down and he's like, listen, captain to captain, we gotta do this. First, you'll need to get a crew. The ship this size, you'll need a lot of crew members. So, you know, he's giving us details about how things work, but he's also sitting there and being sort of a guide for Vice here for a minute, right? The more crew members we have, the better it will operate. We need a base. We need a place to repair your ship. Warm meals and beds. Your father has his base. We need to make one as well. What about that deserted island I found you on? I believe it's called Crescent Island. Remember I said that that location was going to be important? Crescent Island will be our base. Most of all, no matter what happens, never give up. I don't know if you've realized it yet, but you've accomplished a lot so far, especially for someone at your age. You've escaped from the Colosseum, crossed the South Ocean, found Decat's treasure, defeated 3 of the admirals of the Armada, took down 2 Gigases, and escaped from the Grand Fortress twice. Everyone wants to follow you, even though you're a little crazy. It's because no matter what happens, you never give up. Anytime something stands in your way, you never let it stop you. Your crew knows, like, it's just great. I love that Gilder's sitting back and saying, like, hey, you're going to have a lot of responsibility, but, you know, I believe in you, and I believe you'll be able to accomplish your dreams. It's easy to dismiss Gilder as, like, this totally joke character sometimes, but I don't feel that way. I love him, though.
See ya.
So now Gilder will have left our party. And don't ask how it works, but somehow Clara just missed him walking through the... Oh. She didn't miss him. I was like, they went through the same door. So Clara will pursue him. But we get to set up our base. We get to fly the Delphinus. Grab some crew members potentially along the way. And like, I like this too. It's just like, I can't believe it. I'm finally the captain of my own ship. Like, he's totally enamored by this too. Like, he is so excited by these things as well. Enrique has joined the party. Yes, he has. He has joined the party. So great. Load the skies. Can't go through sky rifts. But if we fix the hull and the engines, we'll be able to deal with stone rifts and everything. So it's just limiting where we can go for now. So Enrique is going to be with us for a while. So this is why I need the moonberries. First move, Royal Blade. His second move, one of the most important moves of the game, Justice Shield. Justice Shield, just for the record, cuts all physical damage in half that we receive. Doesn't cost a lot. And I don't think we can give another super move to Fina right now. Can we? Oh, we will. Silver Moonlight. So this gets rid of any effects that we need to purge by cleansing. But we can go around. Let's stop on Sailor Island. Come on, game. Let me stop on Sailor Island. And we can grab some crew members and a couple of things. So crew member number 1 is here, Lawrence. He wants 10,000 gold? Pfft, whatever. I'm rich, motherfucker. He will join our crew as a helmsman. There is another option available, but we will not find him for quite some time. So the game positions you near Sailor Island because you can get a lot of crew members right away. So Polly, we can have her join us as a cook. And she can come with us because one of the things that she wants to do is figure out what happened to her husband. So she will come with us as our cook, or at least as one of our cooks. Every position has 2 possible members. So we will head here next. But I also want to see if we can buy new weapons as well. So let's talk to Pinta. We have a crew member of our own. He is our delegate for now. We will get another delegate later on. So he's like our ambassador. Vise the Bold. So they start to know who we are, which is great. It's one of the things I like about the systems. And then this is all like all kinds of great stuff available to us. So we want to give Aika naval armor. And you can see this is all sort of like stuff that we haven't found, or we did find. It's like it's just a list of all kinds of stuff. Fina, I do want to give her Ixitaka armor. So, haha. So it's like I just want to give some upgrades to folks now while I can. We can sell off some of the extra stuff, right? Not that it matters too much, but you know. Selling stuff is cool. Haha. One of the joys of RPGs, everybody. Selling things! And so, now I want to upgrade the Delphinus a little bit with money that I have. But we have a decent crew, and I think we can check that in our menu as well now, too. Second page. Either that or it's under Delphinus. So yeah, change crew if we want to, right? So these are all the different positions that we know of, and we have other people we can put on standby. There's a lookout that we can get. There's a bunch of people that we can get. And so one thing I might want to do is actually do another hard cut in this segment where I grab like a couple other folk. But that's not necessary. I do want us to get to Crescent Island and set up our base. So let's see if there's anything good here. So, engine cover and armored deck for sure. Just to give us some bonuses to the ship for now. And we're all good. I'm not that worried. Just the little things for now, but we will head towards Crescent Island. Let me check here. I don't remember we need a certain amount of discoveries before we can, surprise, we can recruit Domingo. But let's look at discovery information. 'Cause some of these things, it's just like, Domingo will find them and it doesn't matter. So I'll have to do a segment, maybe not for all of you, but I should go around and find some more discoveries on the down chance. So part of the game that opens up here is the fact that you find all of these crew members and you can go around with a new ship to find discoveries and all of this really fun stuff. So, I mean, obviously you're going on your main quest to try and stop the bad guys, but now we're really into full-on exploration territory. And we want to head to Crescent Island, which is through here? The question is, that's the Dannel Strait. No, so we need to go through past Maramba. So we just follow the rocks. Cool. The overworld, not confusing or anything, but it has been a while. We can go up towards the cloud layer if we want to. And actually, we will stop in Nazrad to pick up another crew member. And a cham. And maybe more stuff. This is just an episode where we go around doing stuff and we relax and decompress. So, yeah, let's do it. So we can show off one of Enrique's moves, which is Royal Blade. Although we don't tend to use Enrique for... Well, I mean, we do use him for attack, but not... I mean, Justice Shield is such a useful skill. So it's pretty good for a single target damage attack. Not as good as anything that Vise will possess.
An utter victory.
And definitely not as powerful as Gunslinger, you know, Gilder. But, you know, it is what it is. Justice Shield will be the thing. I mean, I'm not saying that Enrique isn't a strong party member, but Justice Shield is really his thing. It's phenomenal. So we will show off Justice Shield in this fight, and then we'll go to Nazrad, grab some stuff, head to Crescent Isle, and then I might, on my own time, do some exploration, which would be really great. We can get everybody's magic back to their defaults. She's at silver. He's at yellow, which is what I want him to be. So Justice Shield, really useful.
May righteousness be our shield. Shield of justice.
This is an amazing skill for boss fights. The reduction on physical damage is so wonderful to have. It won't matter because Fina will kill this enemy anyway unless she really misses. But it's a really great skill. Enrique has a lot of options available to him. His final attack's pretty cool too, but I don't always give rotating party members their final attack. Only if I have an excess of moonberries, which I don't. So we can check out Nazrad again, which has unfortunately been devastated. But we can, as I've alluded to, grab some crewmates here. So let us go over... And the music is different, the mood is different. But we can talk to Kazim and have him join our crew, which is great because I like Kazim. We also... Oh, I wonder if I can show that off. I will. In an upcoming battle, I will show off something that happens now that we have the Delphinus for certain battle combat options. So we're going to be like, calm down, join our crew. And we are going to get a gunner, which is great. I just love the fact that our crew grows. I love the fact that we will have such a varied crew of such vibrant characters. So Kazim has joined us as a gunner. The next one we want to grab, even though they are ridiculous, and sometimes there are requirements, and I don't know if there's a requirement for this one, but we want to go to Osman and see if they want to join our crew. Which will get us a merchant. So we'll have a merchant, a delegate, a cook, a helmsman, a gunner. And there's a lookout we can grab if we do some stuff on the side. Which I might do and just be like, hey, did stuff on the side. So we want to go towards the fountain. There's a cham somewhere near the fountain. Near here. Yes, there we go. So, with any luck, Cupel will have transformed after we use the cham. And we have a couple seeds to use as well. So what are these seeds? Vital seed, will. Yeah, we want to give that to Fina. Max MP we want to give to Fina. Vital seed we want to give to Vise. Awesome. And is Cupel different? Cupel is still the Cupel Spike. But we have more chams coming up soon. There's Osman up there. I love the cat. Osman's pretty cool. She's alright. So, Osman is going to join our crew as a trader. And the dialogue here, like, I'm pissing through it really quick, but whatever. Aika was like, she wouldn't even lend us money. But now it's like, you know, things have changed. I want to... Where's the shop? Normal item shop is up here. I might grab some crystals or some boxes or something. But as we move about, sometimes different shops have different possible things. So here we might have some weapons to put on the Delphinus. So this is all customization. It's all really great stuff. Or at least I really enjoy it. So what do we have? Value and torpedo. Yeah, so we have a lot of options here. So the compound deck, the enhanced kitchen. Yeah, so we want the coil cannon. And we want a torpedo to give us options. And then we can use an advanced cannon. And we'll keep one of the prototype cannons for now. Because it's like, there's not a lot of reason to do a lot of things. Increases magic defense, increases defensive power. Let's just have our ship be sort of tanky right now. Yes. I like it. We could sell stuff, but I won't put you... No! I don't want to talk to you. Alright. So we've done everything we want to do here. The real thing I want to do, besides getting to Crescent Island and setting up the base, is I want to get the potential crew members that are at Sailor's Island, but also there are 2 potential crew members in Ixataka but getting back there right now would be a total pain. So we're just doing some small stuff. Like, I hope that this type of a segment doesn't bore people to death either, but I think there's value in showing off these little parts of the game as well. This is just really enjoyable stuff. Crescent Island. And actually the rainbow there, like we said, is a discovery, but I can't go above the cloud layer at the moment. There's a lot of stuff to find on the world map. Can we just run away? Or fuck it, we can use... We can run away.
Retreat!
Screw that. Not in the mood. I want this to be a quicker section. 30 minutes, 40 minutes. There's been a lot of longer segments lately. So there's Crescent Isle. I love it. It's so... I love it! Such a suitable place for a base. We're going to be able to expand and build on it. I really like it. You know... And, our good old prince getting a little airsick. I like it. So now we have these guys here who are awesome. Gilder said that we needed a crew, so he sent some people our way. Brabham, who will be sort of our carpenter, and Ismael. Call me Ismael. And he's sort of our like a shipwright or something. Well, one of them's a shipwright, one of them's like a carpenter. So they're gonna fortify our hull, engines, so that we can go through sky rifts. It's gonna cost us some money. We rich. So we need 100,000 gold. But mostly we can pay for the ship upgrades first. And so in order to get the gold that I want, I will... yeah, so I'm going to need to get a fair amount of gold. I will find some discoveries. I will sell those. I will do some crazy... hunting and everything, but for now, we'll maybe do a transition here, so, we'll do it so when I have more money, so... Alright, that's done. Oh my gosh. I'm an expert editor. And not just somebody who knows how to use simple effects in iMovie. So... this segment, it seems like I just did that transition because there's a lot of busy work, but there actually isn't. Ducats coin sells for 20,000. If you go to Nazrad, then there's a bunch of different enemies around here that drop a lot of money. So, controller, stop it. If you look, in the span of about 20 minutes, give or take, plus turning in some discoveries, I got back up to 85,000, which is great. And then the only thing that you need to know is also I made a little detour to get our first jester, which is Pow, the dog. There he is. Super adorable. But I didn't really think we needed a whole subsection of me getting the dog. We might do some quick wipes to show me picking up some of the other party members, though. So here we go. We need to talk to Ismail, and we'll give him money to start building our headquarters. So we're going to have our ship reinforced. We're going to start building a headquarters, and it's gonna be great. Having all of this set, the process of having things done to Crescent Island is really easy. I really enjoy it. And this whole section of the game is still really great. So we can choose our flag, and I love it. So Vice's flag is really cool. Pretty awesome. Nice skull. Pirates with swords. Surprisingly artistic Vise. And so Aika's is ridiculous. So she drew a cat. This whole section is just all about charm. I wish I had more to say than beyond like, this is a thing, that is a thing, but I think the things speak for themselves. And so, it's Fina's turn. It's the Delphinus! The word refers to an ancient creature that lives in the skies. I drew one of them to show everyone what our ship was named after.
Wow.
I love it. And Vise's is cool, but we're gonna choose Fina's. It doesn't affect your pirate ranking at all. It's not like you need to be like, we need skulls and crossbones and things. We can just do whatever we want, and it shows up on the bridge of the Delphinus, and it's all really great. Now, Crescent Island isn't going to be necessarily completed right overnight, so we'll have to return to this space later on to see it all transformed and super cool. But the management of it is really simple for a sort of sub-activity of managing a base. I really enjoy it. And so we'll have a reinforced ship, so we can basically travel around most of the world. We'll take a couple of quick detours to pick up some crew members, probably from Ixataka, grab some discoveries along the way that I won't show, and then we'll get the plot moving around. But now we're talking about Ramirez. I wonder if there's enough for me to carry on here. How much does Fina tell them? Alright, yeah, so we might explicate a little bit on Ramirez's background here, because it's actually not told entirely in this version, but we learn his background completely in Skies of Arcadia Legends. So, she's a Sylvite, a descendant of the Silver Civilization. Ramirez is one as well. Shocker, shocker. Oh my gosh, what a twist. Their best warrior. He can channel the power of the silver moon through his blade, making it sharp enough to cut through light. It's pretty sharp. They were really good friends, blah blah blah. So something changed. Something made him harsh and cruel. So, very quickly, when Ramirez went down to Arcadia, he, I believe, was found, or somehow ended up in the Valuan Armada because he thought that they would help him. And he became vice captain to an admiral named Mendoza. Mendoza seemed like a very, really virtuous man. And then Ramirez found out that Mendoza was profiteering off of the slavery that was going on in Moonstone Mountains. So Ramirez, in a fit of rage, and his name, for the record, his actual name is Rami. They just thought his name was Ramirez. In a fit of rage, he kills Mendoza. Galcian sort of takes over from there, and he devotes himself to Galcian. That's like the really crazy quick version. But, oh, which one is it? Instill her with confidence. There we go. But yeah, that's the backstory on Ramirez a little bit. Ramirez has this tendency of devoting himself to older men, which isn't an insignificant character trait for us to understand in him, because he tends to project certain ideals onto people and then turned people into symbols, is sort of what Ramirez does. So to Ramirez, Mendoza was a symbol of like, oh, the people down on the world or whatever are still pretty good. And then Mendoza broke that, and whatever symbol Mendoza represented was sort of shattered and then replaced by Galcian. And they're all laughing, but I'm talking about Ramirez still. Ramirez is somebody who needs to find something to devote himself to, which is an interesting trait in a villain. Particularly a villain that we will engage with so often. His loyalty is very genuine, and it's not just him being evil for evil's sake. Like, he totally believes that Galcian is, like, the dude that he should be following. So we are going to head towards the land of the Blue Moon. Yafutoma. I'm going to say Yafutoma, even though that's probably not as close to a fun pronunciation. Not like Ikshitaka. They are under the Blue Moon, which controls water and wind. Their culture is very different from yours. Enrique seems to have heard of it. Far east of Nazareth. So it's the Far East. It is East Asia. It will be a blend of Japan and of China.
Huh?
So they're all like, they eat with sticks, you know. So that's like her mental image. I love those little mental images that Aika has. Every time they pop up, I'm just like, what a great way of like letting us into like a character's brain, of just like presenting these really weird, drawn out thoughts. It's really endearing, and I like it quite a bit ago. So there's a place called Cape Victory. There's a city there called Esperanza. And we will head there to find our way into Yafutoma. We have other people on our ship now because we have our gunners and everything, but for now, we are going to do a quick edit because I'm actually going to pick up some more crew members. So I will see you in a minute. Whoa! Our journey has found us sort of in the middle of East Ocean. That was a weird transition, I know, but I forgot. It turns out that Gordo opens a restaurant, and so this is Domingo, who I met earlier, but you haven't gotten to see. We're going to see if we can recruit him yet. I do not know if it's possible yet. We might have enough discoveries, though. Will you join us? If I can find at least 30 discoveries. Alright, so that's our thing for now. We will definitely have 30 discoveries very soon, but just so you know, that is Domingo. This is Gordo, and now we are going to do a true wipe to Ikshitaka. So we are back in Horteka, where we will find hopefully 3 crew members. So let us find Hans. Hans, will you join us? Yes, Hans, you can join us. He will be our engineer for now. What? Hans. Oh, when my stint as factory technician is over. Okay, that's fine. I guess we'll grab you later, Hans. We can still grab 2 more characters while we are here, so I'm not going to change anything. For the record, the Domingo transition was very sudden. We have 23 discoveries. We need 7 more. We will get quite a bit just from the story, and there's some near Esperanza that I will probably grab as well, or at least 1 near Esperanza that I will grab on our way, so that will get us to 24, and we'll be all good. Now, the big puzzle becomes, how well do I know my way around Ikshitaka? And the answer is, not very well. But we get to listen to some cool music for a minute. this might be just the path that took us to the Moonberry from before, way back when, but if not, then I'm in good shape. Is this just for the Moonberry path? It might be. Well, you're here to grab a lookout and a jester, which is good because the lookout, the other possible lookout that we can have is Domingo, so we'll at least have that position filled. But for now, let's just explore this space. So, this is one of the things about Skies of Arcadia that you might sit back and sort of be like, well, this is sort of silly. All of the discoveries and all of the crew gathering, and it sort of feels like backtracking, right? But for me, the discoveries are so rich in terms of making the world feel really lived in. And finding all the crew members is nice because it introduces us to some fantastic characters that I don't tend to mind this sort of busy work too much. I tend to actually enjoy it because it's a way that lets me engage with the world and understand the space a little better. So I find discoveries around the world and I'm rewarded with kind of stories and everything, and I get a little bit of money for my time too, but there's implicit history about the world that's very strange. So we found, on the way here for instance, I didn't show it, but we found a stone that looks like a giant throne. And maybe it's just a stone that looks like a giant throne, or perhaps there was more going on. Later on we're going to find one thing in particular that's really interesting from a lore perspective, but I don't usually think that games that front-load their lore are all that interesting. In this case, I don't think that the lore is this thing that makes Skies of Arcadia brilliant. It's not, but it does, the little touches make the world feel lived in. So we're going to talk to Chiquitica, and so he wants us to find the village of Ixines, but we've already found it, so haha, we are awesome. And so he'll join our crew, and he will be our lookout for now. So Chica has just joined our crew, which is awesome. In our travels, I'll maybe try and show off some special abilities that we've gotten, and then we'll end this segment when we reach Esperanza, because that's going to be a whole series of, it's going to be its own story beat. But for now, let's just relax and enjoy this segment as something a little bit more casual, and revisit old spaces. So I didn't realize, I knew trying to get Domingo was a risk, because after Crescent Island is renovated, he shows up there anyway. Not in the sense that, like, therefore I don't have to have done any work, but more like, oh, now he's there, as opposed to in Gordo's restaurant. And then, what was the other one? Hans, right? I know there's sort of a story beat where it's tricky to know where you can, when you can get Hans, or at least I think it is. There's some conditions I just don't remember. Like I said, it's been so long since I've played this game, and I feel guilty admitting sometimes that I don't remember things as well as I do, because it implies a lack of, not familiarity, but maybe intimacy with the text. And that's not true. I have a great degree of intimacy with the text. It's just that I haven't played it for quite some time, and so that complicates things a little bit. But we want to head over here, because it turns out I do sort of remember my way around Horteca, vaguely, and we want to talk to this beautiful dancer right here. This is Merida. And so she wrote a letter to Quieta, sending for strong warriors, and you might remember that we found that letter way back the first time we were at Pirate Isle. So now she can join our crew and lift our spirits. So the position is Jester, and so it's sort of silly because the other possible Jester is a dog, but the idea is that these are people who keep our spirits up. But I want to generally So it's just things like this. It depends on... So they have all these things that happen when they're active or are passive. And then they also have things that... There's a super move that I will have that will use my crew members. And so they will either heal or defend, or attack, rather, in that case. POW I like keeping active for now just because we can use our crew members the same way that we use abilities, and he will give us a chance to... they have changes to our ship, so like Lawrence gives us a little bit of quickness, Kazim increases the damage done by our main cannons, Tika increases torpedo hit rate. Like, everybody has a little bit of benefits to them. So figuring out those benefits and everything else is a little bit of the fun of finding a crew that works for you. So, I like that. This is a engagement with the world that isn't just sort of haphazardly done. And that's not to say that this is a system comprised of many complex moving parts. It's not. But it is an approachable and fun way of altering your ship's sort of statistics, and then also it comes with the added benefit of really introducing you to characters that you have some degree of sympathy and attachment to. You want to find out sort of what happens to some of these characters, after we're done our journey and everything. We want to learn more about these people who will crew our ship. It's sort of fun. And so, I am going to actually not cut it here. I'm just going to head outside into the Delphinus for a moment and get into a random battle. Well, 2 random battles, because I want to show off 2 abilities, and then we will sort of deal with everything from there. I don't want to have to deal with going through South Ocean, and the good thing is I can now go through Sky Rifts. But I don't need to here, so like this I could... Some of them are too strong to go through, but that's when I can't, and I'm getting all lost all of a sudden. But the one that was kind of blocking my way out of Nazar airspace did, and then there's also one that's around the back of Valua, the continent, entirely, that I looped around and let me reach North Ocean again. So we will fly around until we find some... Well, first off, is this an enemy ship? Is this a black pirate? Yes, it is. So we're going to stay away. And we just want a random encounter. There we go. And so it will take us a minute to build up. So these 2 attacks that I have access to now, because I have the Delphinus, they require me to have full spirit. But I'm not too worried about that. These enemies aren't so scary. And so we might have to deal with a couple rounds of combat. And maybe I should do another crazy... or semi-lazy transition. My transitions have been a little sloppy this episode, but, it is what it is. So we'll show off the first crazy one, which is going to be a skill called Prophecy. It is one of the strongest attacks of the game, and the game never really tells you that you can use these attacks, at least to the best of my understanding. It never says, like, build up your full spirit gauge and you can do these awesome things. So this is actually something that's a little bit of an oversight on Sky's part, at least insofar as I remember. Some of my experience with this game and memories are, touched by the fact that my engagement with this game was also taking place during, like, my adolescence. But see, now I get access to this. So I have Prophecy and Blue Rogues. First we will show off Prophecy.
In dire need,
We call forth
the power
of the ancients.
to battle our foe.
This is some ridiculous anime shit. It's the best. I love it. So we summon a moon to crash into the world and destroy our enemies. Excuse me. Immensely powerful, but by the time that you have enough spirit points to pull off those big attacks, I could have Vise use, you know, Pirate's Wrath, and then Enrique could use his max ability, and Fina could heal us to full or whatever. And this over here, this is just Gordo's restaurant. That's where we found Domingo. But we'll run into at least one more battle. Yeah, so there's the Giant's Throne that I was talking about. It looks like a giant clamshell, but it's actually the Giant's Throne. And so we'll show off Blue Rogues. Blue Rogues is an ability that has more strength dependent upon the number of crew members that you have. And as I sort of alluded to before, depending on which of your crew members are active, they will either add to the attack's total damage count or the amount of HP that it heals you. So Blue Rogues is an attack that heals and does damage. Doesn't do as much damage as Prophecy, because dropping a moon on somebody is pretty fucking powerful, but if you have the right crew members, you can do a lot of damage, or you can sort of split it even, get healed, feel okay. So this is another thing where it's like, my getting crew members also affects my combat to some degree, and so they don't quite become actors that I can control, but my crew does contribute to me in multiple ways. Mostly in ship battles, and a couple other ways, but they also can contribute in this attack as well, which is really interesting to me. And so you get to get a smaller, like, it's not a huge thing, but you get a little bit of a look into the characters' personalities based upon what they do during this attack. So we won't have everybody, so it'll be a bit shorter, but here we go.
Blue Rogues, attack!
So Lawrence is first.
This is what I'm paid for. Get a load of these!
Kazim.
I never miss.
Tika Tika. Marco.
Take this!
I think it's Pow? Yep. And now Pinta. Now we're into healing. So Osman. Polly. And that's all for now. And so, a lot of damage, but it also heals. Not as much healing, but that can change with how we slot our crew members. But there you go. 2 really cool attacks, and I am going to make one more cut for when we enter Esperanza. So we are going to actually fade to black. Fade up. Whoa, whoa, oh my gosh, I just got into a battle as I did the transition. Oh my gosh. We're keeping it in. Fuck it, we'll do it live. I thought I was safe. Encounter rate around here is high. Oh my gosh. I am running. Oh, let's get away. Okay, well, yeah, that was probably going to happen too with my luck, so let's beat the crap out of these things. They can put our party members to sleep, however, which totally sucks. So we are right outside Esperanza. I did some exploration. The most interesting discovery I found was a crashed blimp. Because before the age of ships ruling the sky, it was the age, and Fina's unconscious now, or not. It was the age of blimps. So if you wanted to, you could do a Skies of Arcadia game set in the past with blimp travel if you really wanted to. See, there is history in this world. I was telling you that. I'm gonna sneeze. Ugh. Oh my gosh, no. I can't control it. This episode has officially gone off the rails. Oh, ridiculous. So what is this enemy? I didn't know it's affinity. If it could be a number of things if purple's hitting weak against it though, because purple has, it's weak against 3 things. It's in terms of disadvantages, it's actually like weak against a ton of stuff, but not a lot of stuff. Like only green and red are effective against it. So it's like, I don't know. Shit is what it is. My party in kind of rough shape, so we will use our shield.
May righteous
But seriously, I just wanted some discoveries, I wanted to have a good time. Didn't want to have to deal with anything too crazy. Was gonna fade up and totally be at Esperanza, which I am, and then I got attacked by a giant, crazy, shark-tooth fishy monster.
We did it!
Alright. So we will land in Esperanza, and Esperanza will be our next segment for Skies of Arcadia. Let us just hope we can get there. On the edge of Cape Victory is Esperanza. Let me land. There we go. Haha. Esperanza's cool. I like the sort of miniature story arc that this town goes under, and that our characters will undergo here. Some really good stuff. So there's a crazy sky rift across the way. That, my dear viewers, is the Dark Rift. Dun dun dun. So we'll see how that goes in the next segment. Enrique is still a little airsick. So we will, in the next episode, go around Esperanza, which is a very somber space. Until then, that was a very strange episode of Let's Remember Skies of Arcadia. Thank you very much for watching. I love you very much. Bye.